Hey guys, I'm your host Symphony Griffith and welcome to the very first episode of Get Moving, where it's all about the importance of health and wellness in our Barbadian society. Thank you so much for joining us today. In today's episode, we will be learning about one of the most detrimental non-communicable diseases that has been affecting the people in our society for many years, and that is diabetes. In recent years, there has been an alarming increase of diabetes among the youth in our society. And to talk about this issue today is Dr. Colin Alert of the Wellness Clinic in Bay Street. So, without further ado, let's hear what he has to say.
There are two main types of diabetes around here. Type 1, which require insulin by injection, and type 2, which is much more common around here, which probably accounts about 99% of cases, is very often associated with being overweight or obese. Certainly it's associated with not being physically active and eating inappropriately. And as previously mentioned, that's the most common type around here. And then unfortunately, we see a lot of the complications of this. The amputations, and for years Barbados has been termed the amputation capital of the world. We have lots of people go blind. We have lots of people have heart attacks. We have lots of people have strokes. We have lots of people develop end-stage kidney disease. So diabetes, it's a very, very serious illness in terms of we have lots of people that have it, and it has lots of serious and sometimes life-threatening complications.
What would you say is the most common type among young people?
Right now it's probably still type 2. Meaning that unfortunately we have too many young people that don't get enough exercise and that eat inappropriately, and the fast foods and the sweetened beverages are villains in this. They become obese from a very young age. We have data that suggests, like in primary schools, about 1/3 of our young children are overweight and another 15% are obese. So that's even at primary school level. And unfortunately, things only get worse later on in secondary school, in young adulthood, and so on.
So you mentioned that a percentage of young people have it. Is it hereditary?
Type 1 is the more stronger hereditary disease. Type 2 is hereditary.
So has there been a rapid increase in the island in the past few years?
Yes. Over the last 2-3 decades, certainly our eating habits have shifted significantly, and that has led to large numbers of people showing up as diabetic.
So, in terms of the type of foods, everybody say that you could eat foods in small proportions, but what should you really be staying away from? Because I heard that stuff like meats aren't too good for our bodies.
The dietary habits of persons are changing, and they're mostly related to economics. Okay. Having said that, the real bad things that people eat are too much starches and too much starchy foods. Whether it's potato, rice, pasta. People eat too many sweet things. Okay, cakes and ice cream and sweets and so on.
Snacking on sweeties.
Yeah. People snack too much, buy too much fast foods, even though for some people that's an economic necessity. And what they neglect is the fruits and vegetables, which by and large are healthier choices, even though sometimes they're more expensive ones. The more you exercise, the more you're protected. But then, overall, perhaps it's just a matter of time. And while in, 40, 50 years ago, people would become diabetic in the 50s and 60s. We're seeing nowadays people becoming diabetic in the 20s and 30s, and perhaps even a few teenagers as well.
So guys, you've heard it for yourself. Straight from a doctor who spends some of his working days treating patients who suffer from diabetes. Now, it's time to get up, change our lifestyles, and get moving, and take this situation seriously. Because not only will this information benefit our health, but the future generations to come. This has been Get Moving.